Divided Europe. Euroscepticism in Central, Eastern and Southern Europe by Jose Magone. Since the Maastricht Treaty and the adoption of the Treaty of the European Union, the inclusion of economic and monetary union provisions in the TEU changed qualitatively the nature of the European integration process. 12 countries transformed the European Union into a visible economic force worldwide, while Denmark brought a diffuse attitude that further integration may change the welfare system of the country based on social equality. Euroscepticism was not regarded as negative, but that European integration matters to citizens even if it is a reaction against a potential threat to a way of life. Defining Euroscepticism. Hard Euroscepticism means parties consider withdrawing their country from membership. Soft Euroscepticism means there are concerns of policy areas led to the expression of qualified opposition to the EU, or where there is a sense that national interest is currently at odds with the EU trajectory. Soft Euroscepticism dominates the landscape of political parties. Authors do not problematize the changing nature, but the transformation was regarded as a Eurosclerosis. In the 80s, a swinging pendulum between intergovernmentalism and supranationalism, high level of unemployment and lack of entrepreneurial innovation led to the relaunching of the single European market. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, expanding was characterized as a creeping incrementalism of policy areas. Margaret Thatcher's famous Eurosceptic speech created several intra-party Eurosceptic associations and the 1992 foundation of Conservatives Against a Federal Europe. An approach is to perceive Euroscepticism. Utilitarian Euroscepticism refers to skepticism about the gains derived from integration or its distributional impacts. Political Euroscepticism, defined, is as principled opposition or defiance towards the setting up of a supranational institutional system, the delegation of powers to supranational institutions beyond a limited core of policies, such as the internal market, competition policy, and to the principle of pooling of sovereignties. Value-based Euroscepticism refers to the perception that EU institutions should not interfere in matters where not only strongly held collective and societal preferences, but more fundamentally value systems are at stake. For instance, issues such as abortion, divorce, minority rights, the balance between individual liberties and public order, and so on. And at last, there is anti-Europeanism. In 2002, Kopecky and Mott expanded the typology to the Euro enthusiasts, creating 4 different groups: the Europhile optimist, the Europhile pessimist, the Europhile optimists, Europhobe optimists, and the Europhobe pessimists. Chris Flood, who developed a more sophisticated value-free continuum, taking into account the 2 opposite poles of Euro enthusiasm, the maximalists, contra the hard Euroscepticism, the rejectionist. The 4 main types of attitudes toward European integration are Euro enthusiasm, disinterested Euro enthusiasts, and the latter interested Euro enthusiasts. Euro criticism differentiated between the reformist Euro critics, who want just to reform parts of the political project, and those that advocate a transformative approach by changing the economic or political logics of the European integration process. Euro disenchantment, disenchanted because of the austerity policies of the global crisis, and those that are disenchanted and detached from the European integration process but not expressed in the public space. And Euroscepticism, soft or hard. From goodwill, desiring to help others, or intended for benefits rather than profit, to conditionality-oriented Southern Europe. The peripheralization of Southern, Central and Eastern Europe. European Steel and Coal, European Economic Community and Euratom were a community of 6. It expanded to 9 in 1973. Referendums in Norway led to rejection of membership, and in the UK, the first signs of Euroscepticism campaign. In 1974, the Portuguese started the process of democratization in Portugal, Spain and Greece. All 3 countries were members of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Greece was able to join in 1981. Portugal and Spain had to wait further 5 years to join the EC in 1986. Under Jacques Delors' presidency, the Southern enlargement made the EC more heterogeneous economically, socially and politically. The collapse of the Soviet Union allowed the neutral countries of Austria, Finland and Sweden to join the European Union in 1995. Mediterranean islands of Cyprus and Malta joined easier than the enlargement to Central and Eastern Europe. Apart from Romania and Bulgaria, which joined the EU in 2007, all other candidate countries joined in 2004. While the Southern periphery has been able to keep the levels of funding since 1994, the Central and Eastern European periphery has to accept a much lower funding, although they are in greater need, which results in asymmetrical distribution of funding in the European Union. The difficulties within the Union preventing further enlargement till 1st of January 2014, all restrictions on labor mobility for Romania and Bulgaria have been lifted. These countries are still excluded from the Schengen area due to resistance from Finland, Netherlands, France and Germany. The sovereign debt crisis in Greece, Portugal, Cyprus and Ireland has increased the conflict between the rich member states and the poor ones. In order to prevent another sovereign debt crisis, further spending policies of national governments have been tightened. Magone, which is a marriage between France and Germany's Angela Merkel and Nicolas Sarkozy, imposed an intergovernmental, quite complex process towards the creation of a bailout fund, the temporary European Financial Stability Facility, in 2010, which was replaced by the European Stability Mechanism ESM in 2013. While the European institutions wanted a softer approach to the crisis countries, particularly towards Greece, the IMF wanted to be stricter in their demands for reforms on their 3-monthly Troika visits. Ireland left Troika program in 2013. Portugal was able to complete the adjustment program in June 2014, while Greece and Cyprus remain under close scrutiny of the Troika. Conclusions on the peripheral Euroscepticism. A danger for European integration. Hard Euroscepticism, outright rejection of the EU, is almost non-existent taken on the survey of the political parties in the continuum on the European Union attitudes among Southern, Central and Eastern Europe in the European Parliament after 2009 and 2014 EP elections. A lot which is characterized as Eurosceptic is actually Eurocritical. Springer, which was published in 2015, stated Greece in the category of mainly transformative Eurocriticism with Portugal and Spain, although it had doubled its MEPs from 4.1% in 2009 to 9.6% in 2014. As we are dealing with Brexit, the EU is currently relaunching take part in the Euroscepticism, Euro-enthusiasm debate. Thank you very much.